tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, there it is.
I was waiting. Yes.
Wepa.
I like your shirt, Giselle. It says
Thank
tacos.
you.
Okay.
I want tacos and sushi right now.
Yeah.
Tacos and sushi, that's an interesting combination.
Mm-hmm.
But welcome After Buzzers for Jane the Virgin. This is episode
Chapter 11.
11.
Once.
Yeah. Once. Quince
Capítulo
is
11.
next, right? Okay.
Doce.
Yeah. Doce. Okay, I know. Quince, that's
We're almost
15.
there.
That's 15.
Okay,
We're
yeah, I
almost
know,
there.
that's right. But if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel. It's youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV, or check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. And don't forget to leave us a comment, because we love your comments. Please, please, please leave us a comment and tweet us by using the hashtag. What are we using?
Jane ABTV.
Okay, I love it. ABTV.
But you can find all of our handles down below if you're
Yes.
watching.
Correct you, ladies, actually.
Oh.
It is AfterBuzz JTV. That's
Oh.
the hashtag.
Okay.
AfterBuzz JTV.
What?
Oh, wow.
Well, we
Oh,
haven't,
well, we had
we haven't
created
been
our
using
other
that
one, so
one.
use
haven't.
both.
But
Okay.
either way, just tag us and we'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But go ahead and do the hashtag AfterBuzz JTV, because some of our AfterBuzz people who do the media, they'll be making sure to look at that and retweet you and see what we can for that.
Yes.
So do both so we can all talk to each
Tag
other.
everyone and have
Yes,
them married
yes, yes,
Jane
please.
Muss.
So who are we? Okay, so I'm Madison Chase, your trainer to the stars and the star in you. I'm also your voice of virginity. That's why I wanted to do this show. And my Twitter handle is Madison Chase Fit. It's me.
Yeah, it is. You can give Xiomara some notes tonight after tonight's episode.
I know, I sure could. I was like, oh, but that's when you know it's a good guy, when he's like, I'm willing to wait.
You're
Yay.
worth the wait.
You're
And
worth the
I'm
wait.
Giselle Ugarte for the purposes of the show.
Okay.
I'm
I'm at Giselle Ugarte. At Giselle Ugarte. Short and sweet.
And I'm Stephanie Giorgi. What's good, everybody? And you can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi.
Yes. So
Right, chapter
I was
11.
gone last
Let's
week.
get
I missed
it.
you guys so
Oh,
much.
wait, actually, I know we missed you too. And before we start, I just want to give a shout out to our girl Giselle, because if you watched the interview with Andrea, who plays Xiomara, Andrea. That's what she pronounced her
Andrea.
name, right? Yeah, she got us the book. Yay!
that so sweet? So thank
and the
you.
War of Art, break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. Yes.
And this is the book that as a cast, they give them to any guest stars that come on the show or co-stars that come on the show as a collective gift. They thought that this was good because a lot of them have been trying to act for so long, and for a lot of them, this is their first job that really stuck, and they all love each other, so they wanted to give something encouraging to anyone who visits the cast.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give it to
Yeah, so now we're a
My
part of the
co-host.
cast also, which I know this is the
Honorary
best- right,
members.
exactly. And I know that they would say the same, so thank you for being accepted.
Yes, that's very sweet.
All right.
So, of course, we start chapter 11 with another flashback scene. And I always love the flashback scenes because I love little Jane. She's so cute.
I know, and so smart and
She's
wise.
so smart. But this was like an older
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're
This
getting...
was our quinceañera Jane.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
quinceañera. So it said 8 years ago, and so she hates conflict. And I can so relate to hating conflict because I absolutely hate it. And I have to find myself because my Leo self, we're Leos, the bad Leo side will want to cuss somebody out, right? And then the good Leo side is like, no, but you can't.
Yeah.
So I have to take a moment, and I sometimes take a minute to respond to people because then it would not be nice. So I get that she doesn't like conflict. So her mom, Xiomara, and Abuela have an argument, and so Jane writes a letter as if she's Xiomara and slides it under her mom's, Abuela's door. And I love that that's kind of how
Over the years.
yeah, she's resolved conflict by writing. Like, that's very therapeutic for her. And that's kind of like the theme that we see throughout the whole chapter
Episode,
11.
right.
Yeah, like I love that they have like this theme, and their writers are so great that they carry it out throughout the whole thing. I'm like, that's so incredible. So, what did you guys think about that scene? Like,
I loved it, and it just shows the dynamic between the three of them. Jane always is the happy medium between the two, but at the end of the day, you know, Abuela is always just wanting the best, and she wants them to pick the safest route. And Xiomara's the dreamer. You know, she's always been the dreamer, and she's always been even stubborn as the dreamer and wants to stick to that. And like you said, it's something that we see quilted through the whole show.
Yes.
And, you know, I love it.
It's nice. I like that you mentioned that both of you were Leos because we find out that Xiomara is a Taurus.
Taurus,
And may I just say, from personal experience, Puerto Ricans are all about zodiac signs. Like,
Really?
yes, they're
That's
all about it.
interesting.
Like, that's how they describe themselves. Well, like, I'm a Gemini, so I'm nuts. But
When's your birthday?
June 9th. I have the
Oh,
same
so
birthday
you are
as
a
Johnny
Gemini.
Depp. Yeah, I am a Gemini.
Yeah.
I have the
Okay.
same birthday as Johnny Depp. And I
know
am
somebody else you
a
have the same
Gemini and Moon
birthday.
Virgo, which John F. Kennedy was also.
Wow.
I love that.
That's interesting.
Well, it's my half birthday today.
Yay, happy half birthday.
What does that mean?
It just means I'm like my
Halfway.
age and a half.
Oh, you're halfway to your
When I-
birthday
yeah.
day. Oh, wow. Okay, I've never done that. Yeah.
I didn't either, but someone pointed it out to me today.
Okay.
So I was like, oh.
So I don't know about the moon rising and the whatever. What is that? Like, is that Chinese astrology?
No. It's still astrology, but it's just different. It depends on like when you were born and how
Oh, the
the moon
year.
and your planets affect you. And regardless, it doesn't really matter. But yes, I just wanted to rep for just a second.
Okay, so Gemini, Leos, and Xiomara is a Taurus.
A Taurus.
All day. And I was like, yeah, she does seem like a Taurus. She's very like stubborn. So she is like nervous about the dinner that she's
dinner
about to have with Raphael because she knows she doesn't like him. Like she's already decided Michael is who she wants Jane to be with. So Jane
And we
is-
see that scene from the hospital
I know.
with the conversation with him saying that he's never going to stop loving her.
but I think he might.
I don't think he will.
Even after, okay, we'll talk about that later.
She's the one that got away. Oh, wait. Do you know what we forgot about is the gift on the bus from the twins.
Oh,
That
Was
we're
that at
gonna
the
get to
beginning? Or did I skip
it was
forward?
kind of in the beginning.
It's
You did
kind
skip a
of-
little bit, but we're in
we're-
the same
that's
area.
true.
We're in the
Okay,
same-
okay.
We're gonna get to it because she was like, I love that she
hormonal
was
and
pregnant.
sad.
Yeah, she's very hormonal,
Which
And
is
that
super
happens.
cute, and I love that. And they give her, and I was so afraid that the twins were gonna give her something bad.
I was too, but then they showed. I can't remember what chapter that was, but they eventually became nice.
Right. Yes.
After they had the kind of confrontation where Jane decided she was going to stand up for herself.
Yes.
And I love that scene because she really was like, you know what, I'm going to stand up to them. I'm not going to be I guess she had Mean Girls in high school. And so this kind of, it reminds me of Drew Barrymore's, what movie?
Never Been Kissed.
I love that
So
movie.
good.
Okay. I love that.
Rufus. That's
So Rufus.
So Rufus.
We're talking about something else. But I love Drew Barrymore and I absolutely loved her in that movie. But
It's
yes.
like one of my favorite movies.
Me too. Okay.
But that is good. I like that they finally saw her as somewhat of a cool teacher, but I
Yeah.
also appreciated them saying, but seriously,
Don't
please
cry.
don't cry.
Please don't
Yes.
cry.
Low
They knew
key
she
was like
crying.
them knowing they're, at the end of the day, it's their stepsister kind of. So,
Yeah.
so it's just funny that they have that relationship. But that was nice that they gave her a gift.
Yes, and then she gets off the bus and she gets like I guess
Offered.
and offered like a full-time position, and
It works out perfectly because the other teacher is about to have the baby, so then they could swap maternity leaves. And essentially, this is what she wanted to hear. Plus, they offered her the middle school position, which is what she wanted originally.
Oh, that
Because
is
she wanted to
true.
prevent all mean girls who were potential.
forming.
Yes.
Yes, from forming.
So this is ideal for her.
Yeah.
However,
However,
But
good things
What's
come
the
in.
but?
a
well,
lot.
it's
comes
it's
in threes. I like good
Bad things come in three, but I just
I
wanted
say
to say,
good things come in threes.
we don't need to worry about no
I
bad
just say when it
things.
rains, it pours, and some people like the rain and some people don't.
That's true. Oh,
Or you
okay.
can say when it rains, the sun comes out. I'm all about positivity.
Oh, the
and
rainbow
light.
at the end.
Exactly.
I like the
Bam.
rain.
Ooh, right? There's only one way.
Yeah.
We're like, let us figure out what other analogies we can think
Yeah.
for you all.
Well, I say, okay, my other analogy is I say instead of you could kill two birds with one stone, I say you could save one bird with two hands. Like this.
But why
'cause
can't you
it's
say both
gentle.
of them?
You could say both of them, but it's kill two birds with one stone, but
Okay.
you could have two
Save
hands.
one
I
bird,
like-
two hands.
What I learned
saving.
from a very smart person
Okay.
or animal actually. Thumper's father let us all know once from Bambi that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah. But I feel like we've been so socialized with all of the negative things. So I like to turn it around.
Well, in this little novela, we have to have negativity and drama.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we love it.
I got you. Okay.
There has to.
There has to be.
Then
Okay.
when the good things happen, it makes it that much more wonderful.
That's
Can I just
so
say
true.
that I feel like maybe it's because we've been so invested in this show since the very first episode. I feel like every time I watch Gina Rodriguez on television, I feel like I'm watching my best friend.
Oh,
Don't you
I know.
feel like that?
Yeah,
When
like I
she
feel
won
like
the
I
Golden
know
Globe,
her.
I was like, oh my God, thank you, everyone.
I know.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Like, we did such a great job.
I know. And I think we deserved
Thank
it.
you.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.
So now, we're Golden Globe supportees,
Right.
supporters.
Right. I love it. I love it.
But I
Okay.
just love her so much, and I feel like you can see. I think this is kind of when they started to. They knew that they were picked up for another season, and I think you can see the confidence level. And they're just. I mean, always they've been so together.
Yeah.
But now I just feel like every time I watch, I'm like. I know she's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
I saw that coming. We
It's
knew
good.
it.
And the storylines are all developing really nicely.
Yes.
I'm just curious about Rose, though, because in like the next
Yes.
scene that we see,
Rose and
she's
Ross.
still worried about Carlos, but
I
we
don't
all
think
know that it's not Carlos, it's her.
Oh, yeah.
She's only worried about what position she's going to be in afterwards, especially if he just bounces
Yeah.
to Croatia.
She's-
Do you think that he's going to... Oh, did
Wait.
you watch...
What?
Yeah, like in the... just in the next scene, I was moving forward. But
No, I know. But did I miss that? I watched last week.
Raphael was talking to... Because Rose overheard Carlos, whom is
Yeah.
Raphael's father,
Right.
talk about how he was getting $5 million out of the bank and then he was going to go to Croatia to go to a house called Alegria.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Okay, so then now in this episode, we see Rose still talking to Raph about it, and she's saying that he might be involved in criminal activity, and if he is, then both of us are going to go down because our names are attached to his.
Because she's thinking he knew about the ton of
okay.
Rose.
But
For a second-
she's still twisted for a second because of what she did to Luisa.
Yeah,
So
which is-
now I just don't know. Is she looking out for herself or not, or is
She
she
totally-
just,
What
or
I'm
is she just
confused
human?
about. Okay, so I didn't realize that you think Rose is seen Rostro. That's
No,
why
no,
I'm
I don't.
confused.
I'm not saying that she is.
Oh, okay,
I'm
that's
saying
what I
don't
thought
know.
you were saying.
No,
I'm
no.
like,
wait,
what? What did I miss?
If I'm stumbling upon my words after those viewers, forgive me.
Well, no, we gotta be the voice of the audience too. So
Right.
just gonna make sure you heard. Maybe it was me. I don't know.
No, but I'm just trying to figure out where Rose is at because
Okay.
I can't determine her character yet.
I do think she's trying to cover her own ass because clearly she's not in love with Carlos. She's in love with
clearly-
Carlos's money,
And she's in love
and
with...
she's in love with Lisa.
And I don't know if she's really in love. Like, people like that is so narcissistic. And it's like, what can I get out of this?
Right.
And not necessarily, like, you never know who to believe. Like, you don't really know their true intentions because if, at the end of the day, if it's about money, you don't care if you get it from a man or a woman.
Right.
You don't care. Like, I feel like she would date Raphael if the opportunity presented itself. Like, she'd go on to the next person with
Right.
money. Like, she doesn't
Or
care.
she would actually be with Luisa. No, probably not because that's already weird and Luisa's nuts. But
And she doesn't have money. So she
everybody is
wouldn't be with
different.
Lisa.
But then I also wonder if Scene Rostro, Carlos,
You think it's Carlos?
yeah. I mean, I think all fingers point to that right now.
Or maybe
would be
Sin
too
Rostro is
obvious.
like a
But-
society because that's where the plastic
Like the
surgery is there.
Illuminati?
Seen face, like without a face.
Exactly. So then I also wonder if perhaps Carlos intentionally set like Lachlan and Petra up a long time ago for the sake of like being able to watch her, or if maybe somehow the mom's involved.
Ooh, I don't know.
I could see the mom being
Because
involved.
maybe Sin Rostro doesn't have a face because there are many faces.
Oh.
Well, that's my point about because
Yeah.
of the
It's like a
surgery
secret
down.
society.
Right, or not even that,
Well,
but
then
that's what the
that's that
surgery
too.
is for because they remember how the guy changed his like jawline.
Yeah.
So either other people are going
he
for it,
takes
or
their
he
faces.
continuously gets surgery done. Like in the
Oh, Sin Rostro just keeps changing his
You know what I'm saying? That's
faces.
what a man without a face.
Yeah, like
that makes
the-
more sense.
yeah, that does
and that
make
his
sense.
like main spot is there, which means it wouldn't be Carlos because Carlos cannot change his face.
I totally agree.
But Carlos might be working with,
with
Sin
Sin
Rostro.
Rostro, and that's how he-
Investigation.
Or could it be that it's Carlos, but they call him Sin Rostro because he takes people's faces away?
Either or, and vice versa. It could be one of the two, but I would only say it's those two.
What do
I
you
would
guys
think
think
it's
at
the
home?
latter. Yeah, you guys tell us. What do you think? I totally think it's what you said, Stephanie, that he knows who it is, and
Right.
he keeps changing his face, and that's why he's got the money and the access to the things that he's gotten access to.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Now we'll see. And Michael, now everything's unraveling more because Michael's investing. Oh, actually, let's speak about Michael real quick.
Yeah,
Because
that
in the
was
next
coming
one,
up. That's what I
with
quick.
him and Nadine.
Nadine, that scene was so cute.
And there was a big discussion on our
Until-
YouTube about Team Raph and Team Michael, which we appreciate everyone who
Oh my
commented on it
goodness.
because you guys were very thorough.
And all the disagreements because
Which is
that's
good.
just-
That's fun,
what they
right? To
want.
disagreement
Yeah.
or to disagree. Excuse me. But Michael, someone was repping Michael hard, which I understand now. Or I mean, I understand, but now he's in a position where he's looking bad again because he's saying that he's never going to stop for Jane, but at the same time,
You've been
he's
messing
treating.
around with Nadine.
And it's not even that he's been messing her around; it's the way that he's treating her. Nadine is catching feelings, and he's
Yes.
being cute. Like, don't
He's
be cute.
Yeah.
He's treating her like the side chick.
But he is
Yeah.
trying, and I feel like
he's trying.
in
What,
those,
Giselle?
he's trying to
Not
like,
get caught up in knowing that his investigation is getting worse just because he hates Raph, and Nadine
No.
sees that, so he has to keep her shut by making out with her all the time.
No, I think he's. I mean, I understand, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just that he needs a distraction.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
dude's heartbroken,
definitely,
and like the best
definitely.
way to get over someone is to get
Under
under or
somebody
just
else.
around someone
does.
else who makes you feel better about yourself. And Nadine looks at him the way that he looks at Jane.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Which,
that's still not fair.
know.
Like, she's the rebound chick, and that's never fair.
It's
It
never
isn't.
fair, but it's also something that you're so caught up in yourself and your own
Right.
misery that you don't realize, how selfish or unfair you're being because it
Right.
feels good to you.
Yeah.
Or it feels safe to you. Or you're just numb
you're just-
altogether
yeah,
because
and
you're so
happy.
broken and hurt.
Except for he's also going a little bit
Too far.
too far because
Yeah.
now it's getting involved with the investigation, and he could have gotten killed. What if he was in a position worse when we see him later following Raph? Like he bruised his ribs and got his minor concussion.
What I don't understand was why didn't he assume or why is he still digging when the guy said, "Are you with that other guy?"
Well, he didn't
And-
say that until afterwards. Mind you, he went because all he saw was the pictures. Michael goes over, writes down the number that the guy just spoke to because he saw that it was like such a quick phone call afterwards. And then the guy sees him and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Bah, knocks him out. Well, says, "Are you with the other guy?" And then
he
hits
knocks
him.
him out. So I feel like he should know, well, if he was with him and he's hitting him, then
He wasn't supposed to be there.
right.
Wait, but we'll see if he sees that because he's clouded and now has a minor concussion. So
Perhaps.
he is. It's the Jane thing. He wants it to be Raph. He wants to find a
wants it to be
reason.
him, yeah.
That's the only issue with Michael. I love Michael. You guys know I love Michael, but this is the problem. His heart's in the way. It's really bad.
His heart,
It's in the way.
pee-pee.
That too.
That too.
Both sides.
Both are throbbing for something. You know what I mean?
That looks terrible. It looks like we're juggling.
Oh, jeez.
That's really bad. Okay.
So many hospital scenes though lately.
There has been a lot. I wonder where they shoot the hospital scenes.
On set somewhere.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. Okay. So now
What's the next scene?
The next scene is Petra and her mom. They're not sleeping because Milos.
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 Well, because
I like the way
Ivan
you
got
said it.
away, so they think that Ivan's gonna go speak to Milos. Let
he
him know where they
probably
are.
is, yeah. And I'm sure he did exactly that because then she almost tried to shoot off his privates.
Or she hit him. She hit
did
him there,
something.
but yeah. So that's getting funny, and we just see them that they get scared, right? We don't see her with. That's later. Never mind. So yes, Petra's
If you want
scared.
to talk about what happens later with Petra and
I mean, just that
Lachlan.
Lachlan comes back, but I mean, we can just go whatever happens afterwards. Let's do it by the scenes.
Okay.
So Rogelio then offers Jane the internship at
No, he doesn't offer. He just gives it to her.
He gives it to her, right.
Announces
Announces it to
without even
everyone.
asking her.
Which I think
in front
is
of
the best.
everybody. In
That's
true
so funny.
Rogelio fashion.
seriously.
But little does he realize, which we find out at the end of the episode, which I'm skipping forward, but it's actually
Her dream.
self-sabotaging.
Oh, it is, and he
To
doesn't
give her the
mean it to be that
opportunity.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's self-sabotaging or if it's just Hollywood. Like, that's pretty much what happens.
I mean,
in
he
the
was
set.
trying to have the advantage of being able to hire his daughter because he can, and then it just turns differently once someone sees the opportunity to sabotage.
which is
Nicholas,
his assistant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the kind of writing, though, that Jane wants to do? Because
I
I
mean-
feel like I always pictured her writing, like, these novels or,
Right.
like, film
Right.
or... I keep thinking there's an earthquake, so
Oh,
sorry
please.
if I like
Is it
hesitate.
me?
But no, it's Callie's underneath the table.
Oh, I'm also shaking my. I'm just like
Oh,
sitting here
you-
with my leg
okay,
just bouncing.
sorry. I have like a
that on
very
Kelly.
intense fear of earthquakes. So if I all of a sudden like do that viral video where I
You're,
talk
you're from the Midwest, right?
That was in LA. That's hysterical.
I'm like, just go stand under the door. You'll be fine.
But anyway, so I just wonder, you know, like what is the appeal that she sees in this job? Because if anything, and she does eventually make the decision, or we thought that she did and then she doesn't. But anyway, like what is the appeal in this? Because he says, well, everybody wants to be in Hollywood, but Jane doesn't really seem to me like someone who would want to be in
doesn't.
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Which
totally
I feel
agree.
like she somewhat expresses, and then later she even says that she has to figure out how she feels about it. But once she gives the idea, and when she was actually writing the story,
She got butterflies.
She got butterflies, and she felt
Yeah.
good about it because it was still creating something, you
Yeah.
know, still doing what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Or was it just the baby?
Well, I mean, we find out it was also just a baby, but still, she took it
So
for
maybe,
something good.
yeah, she took it for something
Or
good.
maybe,
but
or maybe the
butterflies
baby's,
weren't real.
maybe the baby's kicking because
He likes
how
feels what
happy she
feels,
is, yeah.
yes, and when she's writing. But I think if you look at the whole theme of the show, is she's always been a writer.
yeah.
She's constantly.
I mean, it's what she wants to do, and that's why they say that it's the battle
Yeah.
between her writing, like following her dream, or being in a very secured. In which, mind you, I feel like for a lot of families and. You want
Abuelas?
security, especially
Yeah.
Latinos. Like when I wanted to be in the entertainment industry, my family was always saying, "No, why? That
Right.
You're not gonna." Not that they weren't supportive, but they weren't supportive. They were like, "You're not
They were
gonna."
realistic.
They're realistic. They're like,
Yeah.
"There's no security in that. Why would you ever want to do that? You don't go to school for acting.
But
you
you
don't
know
do
what?
this. You don't
Yeah.
do that."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Okay, fine." And my dad started telling people I was gonna be a lawyer. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be a lawyer just because I like to argue with you."
That's not it. But I think that in today's society with unemployment and the unemployment rates, like job security does not exist anymore.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But especially in this
entertainment-
industry.
Yeah, I think especially in entertainment, like a lot of people are moving different places. Like I think they shoot a show that's on Fox in Chicago.
Yeah.
So they're shooting in different places.
And
so,
we're looking for jobs like every day, even if we
Yeah.
have them.
Yeah. So I think when you're talking about entertainment, it definitely is a rough road.
Yeah, and I understand that.
Yeah.
And
but-
writing in general is a rough road,
But that's why I'm
even if it's
saying
not
why.
entertainment.
That's why in Alba's eyes, she's saying, "No, this is perfect, especially in the position that you're in because you're pregnant, and they're offering you time off with a secured position when
to
you're
come
come
back.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, that you need that."
Yeah, I agree. And I think what she's trying to do, she's trying to do both. And I don't see anything wrong with her trying
Because
to
she
do
had to
both.
feel it out. I mean,
Yeah,
you had to
I think
learn what you
gotta
wanted.
feel it out, and you really like. It's one thing to say, "Oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z," but then when you get into X, Y, and Z, and you realize you hate X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
then you're like, "Okay, well, maybe I want to do A, B, and C instead."
Yeah.
Right.
So
What I don't understand though is like realistically, how does that schedule work?
I know I'm trying to think that out.
Because you know, like typically in Hollywood, and they're definitely shooting during the daytime. Like if you're a
teaching.
writer, it is a 9 to 5 kind of a thing.
Right.
And so how is she doing teaching and writing?
Well, maybe she's leaving
I-
after 3, and
Right.
then maybe
Okay.
she's going from 4 to, I don't know, because now she
Yeah.
has a car, she's not on the bus, so maybe.
True.
you
Well,
know.
and was the school? Did the girls just get on break?
Oh
or
yeah, they
something?
were on break, so maybe that's why.
So it was a good
Oh.
position. Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
that's why they gave her the gift and said goodbye to her until next time or whatever.
That's true. Okay, that makes sense. So that's why she's trying it now, and
Summer
it's an
internship.
internship. Yep, that's exactly.
But then she
what it
doesn't
is.
have to do all 3, and she can go do it at the
And
end
try
of the
it,
summer.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Because
see how
usually
she-
internships are only like a couple months.
That's
Right.
true.
But I mean, what if they offer her like a writing position? She'd want to take that. Which is what again, this is the reason why she's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because and then Rolf eventually is gonna say, which we see him say later, that she's doing too much. But before that, they go to dinner.
Okay, I was gonna
Yeah.
say I love that she was trying to prep him. I absolutely thought
With
that was
everything.
so
The Selena
adorable.
part was so funny.
That was
Oh,
so
Don't
that was the
mention
best part.
Selena, the singer.
Or Jennifer Lopez.
Or Jennifer Lopez. So
I
good.
love it that they pay homage to like the 2 top Latina recording artists. of all
Absolutely.
time.
And
yeah.
Puerto Riqueña,
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
True.
Boricua.
Boricua?
Well, Jennifer.
Jennifer is
Not
Boricua.
Selena.
Okay.
Right, but whatever. Shout out to Corpus Christi and Selena.
Yeah, Corpus Christi,
love
Texas.
Selena.
Woo, woo.
Woo,
Okay,
hello.
yeah.
Oh.
So
Como la flor.
that
Sorry.
was pretty
Bidi, bidi,
good.
bum, bum.
Bidi bum bum.
Selena was everything. Sorry, Xiomara.
She was.
That's why you were mad, because you were like, no, that should have been me.
We were the same age.
Right? They were.
Yeah. It's okay. So
Okay.
dinner.
Dinner. Well, she quizzes him. He's ready to go. He thinks he's
good.
going to crush the dinner because he's good with table manners. He's
Yeah.
polite. He's good with parents.
I mean, he does well until he brings up
dresses
money.
well.
He probably smells good.
He
That's
speaks a
important.
little bit of Spanish.
A little bit.
Ooh,
That
but
was
you know
great.
what? That was
cute.
enough. That was
cute.
perfect.
That was perfect.
Every
Wait,
every
but we
parent
forgot-
loves the the attempt, you know,
Yeah.
to at least make the effort.
So did it sound like he really didn't speak Spanish?
Oh, he said it perfect. Claro que
Okay.
no eres tonta. Oh,
I have no idea, but it sounded so sexy.
No, I'm a sucker. I could not even like you and then speak another language.
I
I'd be
know
like,
that
"Yeah."
is sexy.
And it's
the effort.
unfortunate too. It is the effort, but it's also like, you know, a cultural thing. Like, you know, that. Yeah, it is the effort.
Yeah.
It's the effort, you know, that they're
totally agree.
trying, and it's not just a language, it's a culture, and
So
it's
do you-
embracing the roots and knowing that it's something that, you know, he respects and
Yeah.
understands.
You want
Thank
to
you.
go,
Finds
I'm like,
attractive.
keep going, girl. I don't want to say anything because you got it.
But
My boyfriend tried counting to 10 the first time he met my parents in Spanish, and learned how to say nice to meet you and like you're very beautiful
Well,
to my
that's
aunt.
nice.
Even though my parents they speak English on the reg.
Oh,
Like they're not
too
They were
funny.
like
like,
completely
oh, that's-
100%, but my aunt, she's kind of 50-50, actually more like 90% Spanish and like 10% English, so I think it was more for
She
her because she's
appreciated it.
like my LA mom.
I'm that way when I meet Germans or Russians. I'm always like, wie geht's? Or
What does that
ich
mean?
liebe wie geht's is hello in German. And then, or if I were to see like a Russian, I'd be like, oh, привет, как дела? Which is hello, how are you? And then that's it. And then I
That's
know
pretty good.
and then I know a German song that I learned in 4th grade that I always sing to German people.
I'm gonna keep you from doing that one.
It's so bad.
Steph.
I wouldn't do it anyways, but I know that they crack up because they're like, oh,
I know Wiener Schnitzel. Wait, I don't even think that's the right way to
ich
say
liebe
it.
dich means I love you.
Ich
Ich liebe dich.
te amo.
Yish di belish.
Te quiero.
Something
next
like
time.
that. Okay, so yeah,
So
I
he says
love
it was nice in
when
the
she was
effort.
prepping him. We see that she's like actually showing now, which is
How is she
so-
gonna be cocktailing and showing?
I don't
Oh,
know,
that's
a
okay.
good question,
I
'cause
think
she's
people
not
think that it's
drinking.
cute sometimes.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they'll probably give you more tip
That's
money.
true.
My friend was just
Okay.
pregnant. She got more tip money.
Okay.
I totally would give. a
I would
pregnant
too.
woman more
Okay.
tip
If she was
money.
worried, I'd be like, oh, girl, for the baby, get her some
Yeah,
socks.
right. Get her a onesie. Yeah. Yeah, I totally would do that.
Diapers are expensive.
They
are.
expensive. Yeah, I just did a baby shower and it was pretty expensive. Yeah, so let's talk about dinner. It was not so good.
It started off okay.
good. Yeah.
But Xiomara has she has a point as to why to be angry when he brings up the money because
She does admit.
she just doesn't want, because it's true, you know, you become proud of yourself and you don't need people to think that we need that just because.
But
know?
also, she even admits to Jane that it's because she's on Team Michael.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of
Yeah.
the day,
So
that
it wasn't about the money.
right. Well, I mean, it is.
I think it had some. I think
It
she didn't
is.
appreciate that he said that, and it kind of proved her point as to why she didn't like Raph.
Mm-hmm.
But then Michael obviously is clouding her mind because he's saying these beautiful things about her daughter.
And I can relate to her because I feel like, you know, even when my dad will go to a dinner with another family or with some of my friends, and when people try to offer money, like he gets almost upset. Like that's not even something that he admires. Like if my boyfriend tries to pay, that's something that like it offends him.
Right.
Like
Really?
even to this
I mean,
day,
I
I don't
feel like some
understand
people
why,
are
but
like
I
that.
understand from the cultural standpoint, like what they feel.
Yeah, especially if you had to grow up like where you mooched a lot or anything or something like that. You know, you finally get into a position where you don't need anyone to pay for you.
Right.
I'll take care of it. Thank you. I've worked
Right.
hard enough so that when I go out, I can enjoy myself, and I will take care of you also.
That's interesting though, because I feel like part of it is that she also, they need to receive. Like, okay, so now you're in a position where maybe you don't have to work as hard. Maybe Abuela doesn't have to work as hard, and maybe Xiomara can get her singing recording contract. So not that you're like the gold digger chick that's waiting
Right.
after the Lakers game, like, hey, where's Kobe? You're not that chick. But she now is in a different position, so I don't see anything wrong with him saying,
That he
I'll
would want to take care
yeah,
of it.
like
But
why
I
would
just
you
feel-
not want
because a
your
lot of people-
son's, your child's father to take care of the baby? And I think that includes Jane as well, not just I'm gonna pay for the baby because it's my sperm.
Yeah.
Well, and I think she also looks at it from the standpoint of, well, is this how you're going to buy her love and her attention? Is that what you think you're going to be able to get away with? Is, oh, well, it's okay, I'm going to pay for this. And then I think, you know, just from her perspective, I feel like the way she looks at it is that if he pays for those things, that he'll be able to use that as leverage
Yes.
To
in the
own-
future of
I
like, oh,
gotcha.
but I paid for this, and what do you
took
do?
care of
And
that,
what are you
right.
doing? Oh, you're writing? Like, what is that, you know?
And I think it is important to have a balance of, which this word shouldn't be used, but a balance of power within the relationship,
yeah.
just so that no one would be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's ultimately the reason why people get prenups now when you have a lot of money, because
I
money
think when
makes
you
people
don't
do
have
crazy
money,
things.
Yeah, when you don't
So
have
you-
money, you should still get a prenup.
Right.
Absolutely. Like, you came in with this stuff and you came in with this stuff, and if we build some stuff together, that's great. But you leave with your stuff, and I'm gonna leave with my stuff. So, I think maybe a prenup will solve all of that.
I
Because I think they're gonna.
Why?
You
I
disagree?
don't believe
Because
in
you're-
prenups.
Yeah,
I mean, I
because
kind of don't, but I think for certain people, like I have a friend and I love her dearly. She makes significantly more money than her husband. And before they got married, she asked him, she was like, "Dude, are you marrying me for financial security?" Of course he's going to say no.
No.
Like, he's not going to say, if somebody's coming to kill you, they're not going to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, no, I'm not here to kill you. I'm not here to steal anything from you."
Yeah.
A robber isn't going to tell you that they're there to steal from you.
Exactly.
So, I just
and some
see-
people like
It's different from person to person.
I
I feel
agree.
like
It is.
too.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're at an equal level with someone, you know, then I think it's not really necessary. But if you're at, you know,
Totally.
and
right,
if you
when
meet
it's
later in
different.
life too, you know,
I
it's,
totally agree.
it's a matter.
but it's a
different
matter-
from person to person.
Yeah, but it's just, but let's say if you don't do the prenup, you still have to be cautious. You still have to be careful.
Especially in
And you still have
California.
to, like, don't ever be in a relationship where only one person takes care of it because you don't know what they're doing. Like,
Yep.
always just be involved together, because that's
Yeah.
how you prevent those types of
Yeah,
things.
Yeah.
I totally
So
agree.
I see how, like, that could be an issue too.
Yeah.
Fortunately, though, she does have security, because this is a like an unfortunate situation.
Right.
And I loved how he said, "That's the father," or "I'm the father of that baby," and she's like, "Yeah, I'm not on purpose." Ouch.
Ooh. I think I missed
Not
that
on
part.
purpose,
Not
she
on
said.
purpose.
Yeah, and what touche? What can you say after that?
Right. And I'm wondering, because we only saw one conversation where she told him that she was waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we haven't really heard anything about that. But obviously they're in love and it's probably okay, or he's going to wait for her possibly till after the baby. I don't know.
I'm curious to know if she is still gonna feel that way when, you know, supposedly when you get pregnant, you get like really, really horny.
I've heard. Yeah.
So I wonder how that's gonna be.
I wonder,
I wonder if
they're
she'll
gonna
recognize her.
But I think
horniness.
if anything, he'll be the one to be like, no, like you want to wait.
he's gonna, yeah,
Hopefully
I think
he'll be
he'll
really
help
reasonable
her.
about it.
Yeah.
He
wanted to
also can be like,
propose.
okay, right? Well, who knows? Well, after
think so,
the
too.
dinner, when Jane and Xiomara start speaking about the circumstances, and she's like, "Well, you need to not be rude," and then they find an understanding. I do want to say that I agree with Xiomara when she says that the reason why she has an issue with it also, regardless of her being like more loyal to Michael, it did happen quickly, and she is her mother, and she does have to be cautious, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, one, emotions run through your body while you're
Yeah,
pregnant.
it's
Two,
special. That's true.
it's the rebound.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. When do you guys think he's gonna propose, if at all?
I don't. You know what? I don't really see him proposing.
I do.
I do too.
I mean, if I maybe not till later. Not like if
After
he's
the
smart,
baby or before the
regardless of
baby?
how he feels. No, but they just need more time together. You don't
They-
know that. That's
I
just
agree.
it's such a honeymoon stage, because it's almost fairy tale-ish. You know.
Yeah.
But I also feel like because of her values, granted, she's looking at the situation in a very modern way, but I feel like
She would want to get married before the baby is born,
or
because
he
of
would think that
religious
that's what
reasons.
she wants.
Yes.
And whether or not she would accept or not, it just seems like something that he would do.
Do.
Or maybe it's just
I
the fact
agree.
that like I've seen Justin's wedding video online
I
that I
know.
like picture it so clearly
Yeah.
of him like getting down on one knee.
Yeah.
But we do know that the baby is coming at the finale. So that would mean that if he is going to propose, it's going to be in the next,
Couple of
10
episodes.
weeks.
I agree. I think that's something she would want, like as a virgin, especially being pregnant. Like, you don't want to have the baby and then it's all stretched out, and then
It'll get
like,
back together.
I mean, I've heard that because I was actually talking to
Kegels.
this girl at the baby shower, and she said when you're breastfeeding that everything like kind of contracts and your body starts to burn the fat. I know. But she was like-
That's how you lose
Yeah.
your weight.
yeah, that's
is
how you lose
breastfeeding.
the weight. But she said also, I guess when you're lactating, that your parts down there, like, they start to like contract. I'm like, I did not know that. I'm learning so much at this baby shower. Is
Sorry,
Is it bad that I
guys.
never want to feel that? Oh my god.
that bad?
You
don't
you
want to.
probably
You're not
if you
there.
don't, it's okay.
Yeah,
but
totally.
if you and if you don't
Why
ever
am I lactating, and why is my vagina moving on its own?
if you don't ever, that's okay too.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I feel like you probably will at one point.
Yeah. One
Even
day.
if it's like after the baby comes, because I
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't want that right now,
yeah.
and I don't have those feelings. But anyway, back to the show.
No, let's back to the show. Okay,
Sorry.
so Ziamara goes to the hotel, and she actually apologizes because I think Jane and her have a conversation. And she was like, okay, I understand you might not like Rob, but that doesn't give you the license to be rude to him. And I'm glad she like put her foot down, like, I'm in love with him. We're still getting to know each other, and you shouldn't be rude to anybody. Like,
Right,
it's just not called for. So that didn't really go too well either. Like, she really let him have it.
Well, he was in a weird position, but yes, she did let him have it. And I like that at the end of the day, they just have to give each other more time. She's right about when she says that people do change, but not always fundamentally. Because that.
She also, I don't think, knows about cancer.
You know what? That's what I kept thinking
I
the
was
whole time.
wondering that too.
And,
Yeah.
But while I was thinking that, he's on remission. What if the cancer comes back later?
No, don't
oh
say
my!
that.
Because why would it not? Drama. Hello.
Maybe if
Oh my
it's like the
God.
last season of Jane the Virgin, but like I
Not
know
right
that this
now.
is a drama-filled show and that you never know what's going to happen, but I
Not
feel
that.
like there's no way. I know that Game of Thrones did what it did with all the main characters there, but like
I can't
No.
see. Yeah.
they can't kill him
Yeah.
off.
No, they can't.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna kill him off, but shit could get bad. So.
Well, the cancer could come back, but that could bring them closer together.
right,
That's
chemo
true.
and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Okay. Let's
Like
hope
I
not.
almost hope that it does in like a weird
No,
way.
I can't handle that right now.
But just or like that there's a scare just for the sake of
Something.
like
Okay.
seeing that
Yeah,
thing.
maybe.
That's really sad. I hope he gets cancer, but like I
That's
love him.
terrible. Yeah, no. Okay,
Anyway.
So,
Well,
Jane,
and then last thing with the conversation, that the difference between them is that he's always had that view of the world.
that was an interesting perspective. I like
was.
how they kind of did the analogy. She was like, oh, yeah, this is a nice view, but she didn't really mean it in a nice way. She was like, this is how you've always seen life. Like, everything is accessible to you. You have no problems. Life is beautiful. And I don't know about this.
What I think is interesting though is how she's so stubborn into thinking that he can't be a good person, yet
Yes.
Rogelio has shown her that.
That's a good statement.
And I get it,
like
she's
her
a mom,
daughter. Yeah,
yes.
it's the mama there.
I get it, she's the mom and I understand, but you would think that maybe she would be a little bit more understanding into the
'Cause
situation
Rogelio has
considering
money.
how quickly they connected because Rogelio left her, and she
That's
got
so
pregnant.
true.
That wasn't just a kiss, like he hit it and quit it. And like
Yes.
ran off to Hollywood and was very materialistic. And so you would think that maybe she'd be like, okay, well, I've seen him do it. Like maybe he can do it
possible.
too. And
Rogelio
she'd be more
didn't-
understanding to the situation. But
Rogelio didn't know that she wanted to have the baby.
no, but I'm saying she
Oh,
hit
just
it
in
and
general
quit
to
it.
see
Like
someone,
she
right,
put
yeah.
out and he took her cardinal treasure or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't the first time, but he took
Right.
it.
Yeah, and the fact that he has money and he was very superficial, but we see him changing. So if he could do it, why can't Ralph do it?
Well, I mean, we all know Ralph is going to. We love you, Ralph.
Yeah, Team Ralph. Team Ralph, that's where I am. So do you have anything else you want to say about that? scene?
Next, we see Lachlan work his magic.
Something like that. Was
Yellow
that
Comes
magic?
back and
Bullets.
sees Petra, which I was wondering for a
magic.
second that I was like, oh wow, he really caught feelings for her
I
again.
did
Like
too.
he was
I
about
I
thought
it.
too.
didn't. I knew it,
I know,
especially
so
when
does
you
the
see
mom.
that the video is still on his phone or the computer. He had a backup somewhere.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, he still has the sex tape.
He should go
He
ahead.
He told her that he deleted it.
Oh right. You know, and
Yeah.
I forgot that even happened, and this was prior to this episode. Yeah.
Class.
Well, I just knew it the second the tulips. I saw the look in his eye, like idea, and then it happened when she's in the bathtub and he leaves the tulips there. So now he has Petra in a very vulnerable state, so
Yeah.
he can do whatever he wants with her.
What's he gonna do?
Done.
Right, and
Got
Magna
him.
knows that because Magna's dirty, so dirty knows dirty.
Dirty. That's right.
A thief thinks everybody steals, so
Yep.
she's a thief and a liar.
And he wants revenge.
yeah.
And a
She
gypsy.
broke off the engagement.
Ah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Now we got it. Okay. Okay, so then what scene are you on?
Rogelio and just things that have been happening with Rogelio and Xiomara when she dresses in
Oh,
sweatpants.
yes. I love it. We didn't even talk about that. I absolutely love
Less
that
is more.
scene. And then he's like, you remind me of when we first met. Like,
I know, and he
yeah.
still wanted to jump her
he
bones.
still wanted to do it. I
True.
love it.
Which, you know,
Something
I'm
about
surprised
sweatpants.
Yeah, I was gonna say that not for everyone. It's like a turnoff because I remember, like, when I used, you know, remember those velvet outfits that you could
Velour?
get
Juicy
the velour,
Couture.
or
Yeah.
like Juicy. But before it was like you'd go to Charlotte Russe and you'd buy yourself like the matching one. You know, like back in the day. I remember in high school, the boys loved those outfits, and like we had like horny ass little boys in my high school. So I just remember cracking. He's like, "Oh, I just love those." I'm like, "Why do you like these? These are sweatpants. Like girls don't look nice this way."
No, let me
and he's
tell
like, "Yeah, because
you.
you could just take that shit off." And I was like, oh, "You are too young for that. Oh my god."
I don't know what it is. And maybe
They
our
love
male
it.
perspective over here can tell us, or maybe you can just pretend
He's
like I
like,
didn't
"I
say
don't like when
anything.
girls wear sweatpants."
But no, let me tell you, anytime that it has ever been like a costume party or a Christmas party, like anytime I've ever gone out with girls or like in college, the girl who wears the onesie or the ugly outfit, those are always the girls that like end up finding a guy.
Well,
And the girls who dress all like slutty
Well,
and like
I
over
have
the
to-
top
that's
with lots
because-
of makeup.
that's because I used to be the girl with not the onesie. I'd never wear onesies, but like the
Oh,
sweatpants.
the onesie?
No,
If you wear a
the reason why is
onesie, you
because
will get a
the
guy.
other girls were trying too hard, and the
Mind
other girl
those
in the
face.
sweatpants had the confidence.
They were having fun, yeah.
I would say I would agree with you, Stephanie. Yeah, usually the ones who are dressed up in the onesies or the sweatpants or whatever are more approachable.
Yeah.
And the ones who are dressed up are almost like too oh,
You're like, ooh, I'm gonna get.
She's
I'm gonna
too
get a
high
no from
maintenance.
that
I'm gonna
one.
get a note from that one.
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
and too high maintenance too.
I
would
remember that
think.
because I used to say I remember being I was living in Virginia and I would walk somewhere and I would wear like I stayed in sweatpants and like high tops. And I remember telling my friend, I was like, you know, I always get hit on when I am wearing my sweatpants. He's like, yeah, probably because they think your ass is not going to say no. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, they're approaching the situation because they want to make you feel good, even in the way you look. So it's just everything's better. Because did it not make you feel good? I'm like, it did. It made me feel really good because I was like, damn, I look good even when I don't.
I don't know.
So-
I don't know.
It's
I
I
think those
that's
are the
what it
ones
is.
that you end up being able to be in a relationship with them, whereas like the ones that try too hard, it's like it's a one night thing
Well,
and then
yeah,
it's
because
over.
it's you already are approachable, non-approachable. You know.
Yeah, and then with the super over sexy clothes, I always think, okay, if he's searching for that girl, there's gonna always be girls dressed in sexy clothes and or sexier clothes and
Yeah.
or more revealing clothes. Like it has a step edit, like
Yes.
it gets progressively worse. So I'm like, I don't want that dude that wants me when I'm all like sexified.
I used
Yeah.
to always tell people. I remember because when you get in a relationship, people would say, "Oh, girl, you don't gotta get dressed now. You got a man." And I was like, "That's how you
That's
lose your
right.
man."
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
I'd
how you
rather
say.
not get dressed and have somebody try to holler at me while I'm dressed like while I don't look great. And then if you win me, I'm like, now I'm gonna make sure I look good for you every time, all the
Yeah.
time.
Not every time, but
Well, I mean, I
most
try
of the
to. They
time.
men deserve something beautiful to look at.
I agree. My
Yeah.
boyfriend honestly likes me the best, and I'm not even kidding. Like right after I go to the gym, and I'm like in my sweats and like either
Fresh
nothing's
face,
there or
yeah.
like
He's like a hardworking girl.
Okay, so that's the question we want to know. So do you think,
Yeah, right?
yeah, this is the question. Do you think girls are more approachable when they have on sweats or when they have on sexy clothes? And if you're a guy watching the show, what do you think?
I think they think that Xiomara looks beautiful. In
Yeah, she still looks
anything.
beautiful, and you could tell she had no makeup on. And if
Yeah.
she did,
A little
like
bit
her
of something.
skin, a little bit of
translucent powder,
yeah, but her
moisturizer, but yeah,
skin looks incredible.
and hair
Yeah.
They're
too.
so cute.
Yeah,
But at
she's
least it
gorgeous.
worked. At least she knows where they stand. And then it was even better at the hospital when they hug. And he's
And
like,
she hugged
the butt
with her-
out.
why are you afraid to put your
That's-
pelvis against mine?
That's called the church hug.
Right.
For all the people who go to church. So let's hurry. So Jane was about to quit her job, and then Dina kind of, I guess she's the head writer for the show. who
Gassed her
also
up.
Gassed her up, and she's like, "No, it's incredible. Keep going. You have great potential." But then we find out later that she is sleeping.
Debbie Allen, isn't that who it is?
I don't know, but
I'm looking it up.
I think
Debbie
she's
Allen?
she's another Latina, by the way. But Nicholas,
Who's Debbie Allen?
she's saying that's who Dina is, the actress who plays
No,
Dina.
that's not her.
That's not her.
Absolutely, totally not her. But
Yeah, it is.
no, that's not Debbie.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh no, you're right. It's
Okay,
not.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you're
I've
right.
seen Debbie, and I
She's
adore
older.
Debbie.
Yeah,
she's
and that's from
definitely
Grey's
older.
Anatomy. But
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes, but so we find out that Nicholas is sleeping with Dina,
Which makes
because
sense. He wants to be the actor.
he wants to be Rogelio.
And he's assisting. He's the assistant to Rogelio, who
Yeah.
apparently Rogelio's not helping him out. So he's getting his revenge and he's setting up his sabotage.
Yeah, there's a movie about that. I think I can't remember who. Kevin Spacey started a movie where the assistant was like, he was so mistreated that he got revenge on his
Oh, yeah.
employer.
Oh, Horrible Bosses.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, I think do we have anything else we need to cover?
Nothing, just Alba tells Xiomara the truth about
The letters.
listening. No, about listening, about like not doing the leg spread open.
Oh, yeah.
How she was
Okay.
conscious before.
Yeah. She was conscious before that, and then that's it.
And then Michael gets beat up and
Michael gets
and
beat up,
thinks
right.
it's a sign.
And
that
it's not.
Jane's in the hospital.
And
she
then
says it's
Nadine
not.
tells the
Oh, yeah. That was
Officer
pretty.
Armstrong or whoever that it was, whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Okay, what do you think is gonna happen next week?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Get back to me.
Okay.
Tick tock.
Right, so we see that they're gonna kill off Rogelio, so
Yeah.
of course they're gonna make it not look, they're gonna make it Jane's idea so that the cast so that he doesn't blow up and he could be more calm about it or whatever, because they see the influence that Jane has on Rogelio, and they're gonna use her to make everything better but get him
And
off
the
get
writer's
Nicholas
sleeping his
going.
way to the top, which
Right.
is just.
No, Dina is sleeping with
That's
the
not
assistant. The assistant's sleeping his way to the top.
People
yeah,
don't
yeah.
sleep their way to the top. That doesn't happen.
Shoot.
It does happen.
I'm kidding.
It
I'm being
shouldn't
so
happen. Oh, okay.
sarcastic right now. I know too many people who've had affairs. And I'm like, oh, that's how she got on that show.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so no, I totally agree. I think that even if they kill him off, like this is telenovela, like he could
Yeah.
come back
As a
from
ghost.
the spirit.
Easy.
or the
This is
true.
ghost. So
Yeah.
I
Very
know
good
he's
point.
probably freaking out, but he could be like, I don't know, Rogelio.
He could blow up and be this amazing film star like Julianne Moore, who just
Exactly.
won a SAG award and started her speech as,
Exactly.
when I was on As the World Turns.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we'll
Sorry.
see it, and then we'll see, and then I think that Michael's gonna go. He's gonna start going more cuckoo and be stuck on those pictures, and
Or-
completely forget the fact that they said. Or
He's
you,
gonna
the other
get
guy?
he's gonna get fired or
Oh yeah,
suspended.
that
He's
too,
gonna get
which is gonna put
fired.
him even in a darker spot. And he's gonna do his
Yeah.
own single, private investigation.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna get crazy.
That sounds really crazy. And Nadine she's a scorned woman. So that's why, fellas and ladies, like, you should not do the rebound thing. Like, you
Yeah.
should give it a minute.
And honesty is the best policy.
It totally is. So I agree. So
Okay.
okay. You
On
got
that
something
note.
else on that note?
I
Okay.
do, but I'm just gonna
You're gonna
It
pause
has
it?
nothing to do with Jane, so it's
You're
we'll
gonna
have
hold
this
it.
conversation afterwards.
After. Okay,
Yeah,
so
about the rebound.
social media.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Giselle Ugarte, on Facebook at Giselle Ugarte Official, and GiselleUgarte.com, sprintingandstilettos.com.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi, Giorgi, and on Instagram at SteffiG47.
And you can find me on my website, MadisonChaseFitness.com, and then Pinterest, YouTube, and
Instagram.
Everything.
Instagram, pretty much everything. If you type in Madison Chase Fitness, I'll
You'll
come up.
find her.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Fine.
Thank you guys. Leave a comment. Say hello.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.